We have no place in the world.
I'm gonna tear you apart from the inside.
Oh boy.
Hey YouTubers, Hankster here, and welcome to another new movie review. And today's new movie is, of course, Avengers-Age of Ultron, starring Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Samuel L. Jackson, and James Spader as the voice of Ultron. Basically, I gotta start off here with, it starts off kind of sometime after the last movie. The Avengers are so it's a combination of what happened at the end of the last movie and what happened in the Marvel television series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and of course the last Captain America movie, as well as when Hydra shows its face and kind of wants to take over the world, and of course S.H.I.E.L.D. was sort of almost a front for it, and oddly enough, of course, S.H.I.E.L.D's not really mentioned in this. It's mentioned in the movie, but it's basically in this period of time, it's kind of defunct because of what happened. But the Avengers have decided to take on Hydra, and they've tracked them down to a secret military base somewhere in Eastern Europe. And of course, not only are they trying to stop Hydra and also to get one of their latest leaders, but are also trying to retrieve the staff that Loki used in the first Avengers movie. That was the staff that he used to try to brainwash people into serving him, like he did with Hawkeye, and tried to do with Iron Man. But of course, as you know, it just couldn't get past that arc reactor of his. Well, of course, they're able to retrieve it, but not before Iron Man gets a vision through the influence of Scarlet Witch, who, of course, both her and her brother are basically voluntarily working for Hydra, and using, enhance their powers. As opposed to, they're not really referred to as mutants in this movie, as opposed to, in the actual comic book. Both her and her brother are supposed to be children of Magneto, and Magneto's name is not even mentioned in the movie. They're just basically referred to as enhanced humans, not mutants. And there's no reference to X-Men or Magneto or anything like that in this movie. But that's probably a thing in the future. We'll probably have to find out what they'll do with that kind of what kind of storyline they'll send them around in future projects. Now, of course, in this vision, he sees his fellow Avengers killed, and he blames himself. And basically, he discovers a way to using Loki's staff to go forth with an initiative that he had called Ultron, which basically was to push, in other words, an Iron Man type armor around the Earth to protect it from future attacks from alien races, much like what happened in the first movie. He, of course, enlists Banner's help, and of course, I think they failed at first, but the consciousness of Ultron comes in through the internet, and first he takes on Iron Man's computer system, thinking that, of course, thinks that it got rid of it. He basically uses starts his own technology to try to create his own body. And first off, he takes a hold of some of the Iron Guardians, or the Iron Man-looking robots that were created to help out the Avengers with civilian control. And of course, attacks the Avengers while they're having a party up in the tower, their headquarters tower, and of course that's where you get to see their other superhero friends as well that you've seen from the other movies, like of course War Machine from the Iron Man movies, Falcon from last Captain America movie, and all. You get to see them in this movie as well. So they're kind of getting together in this movie briefly in a few scenes, but it's pretty cool to see them getting into the Avengers Act. Also, I want to make mention that you also get to see Agent Carter from both the first Captain America movie and, of course, from her own TV series on ABC. She makes a little brief appearance in there, but it's not the aged version. It's the younger version. But I'm not going to give a spoil to that. If you haven't seen it yet, you just have to look for her in that. I'll give you that as far as I'll give as a spoiler. Now, of course, they basically not figure out how to send him away, but of course he escapes through the internet and returns back to the Hydra base, where he starts working on his own body as well as his minions, which of course are connected to him anyway. And then also he of course makes alliance with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Of course, they have their own axe to grind when it comes to the Avengers. Now, basically, it's the Avengers trying to hunt down Ultron while he's trying to both get himself a new body as well as find a way to destroy all humanity on Earth along with the Avengers, so that he can create his own perfect race or whatever on Earth, robotic race or whatever, because even it's some sort of perversion of what he was initially considered. He was supposed to be protect the Earth, and he winds up thinking that the way to protect Earth is to get rid of the humans and everything, because they won't evolve, or they won't get themselves evolved or anything like that. They won't change, and all. Basically, I'm not going to try to give too much away, but of course, let's get into this way. You get to see some secrets of the lesser superheroes in the movie. I'm not saying lesser than the ones that don't have superpowers. We get to see a secret that Hawkeye has that only Black Widow knows. We get to see a little bit of Black Widow's past life as well. And of course, obviously, we get to see some sort of romantic connection between her and Banner, because it's kind of iffy. And of course, at the end, you're not really sure how that's going to go. Especially the events going on, if that's going to be continued in another movie or whatever. Now, of course, Ultron's way of handling it is not just to get himself a body. Of course, used out of the same substance that created Captain America's shield, vibranium, but he also has found a way to replicate how the dinosaurs died on Earth. He tries to create his own meteor to crash into the Earth. It's a significantly sized meteorite that would hit the planet and destroy all life, including humans. Pretty much, of course, we get to see Samuel L. Jackson again, and of course, it's sort of a refurbished shield. We get to see the helicarrier again come into the rescue, and also he does have a real part to play. That just looks like he's retired and everything. So yeah, Shield does come back in the movie near the end, and all, and pretty much they do defeat Ultron, and they also make a new ally out of another robotic being known as Vision, which basically was found through both Tony Stark's exploration of the internet. He found some sort of force fighting against Ultron, and also Thor himself travels through visions to find out about this being, which of course would be later known as the Vision. and of course, it just gets pretty interesting. And basically, all in all, even though the Avengers have won, I do have to say there is one death in the movie that is greatly felt through in the movie. And of course, at the very end, there is a lineup change with the Avengers. That some members have gone off to do their own thing, while some others are going to stay in and bring in new recruits for the Avengers. And it's pretty kooky to see how that turns out. I also want to make mention, in a sense of a little less spoiler type thing going on. They have left things open up for other projects. Now, of course, obviously there might be another Hulk movie in the future, and they kind of left that open for that possibility in the near future. Now, of course, I think the next Avenger tie-in movie, of course, will be the next. That's probably the reason why he was kind of what happened to him in the movie kind of makes that point he might not be needed for the next movie crossover event. Of course, he wasn't in the original storyline for that particular event in the comic books, so But all in all, Avengers 2: The Age of Ultron was a pretty good movie. There was great amount of funny stuff. Even Ultron had some funny bits in there as well. That also explained that little scene you saw with both Black Widow and the Hulk, that little thing she did with his hand. That's basically called the lullaby. Basically, what it does is that it puts the Hulk to sleep, so he transforms back to the Banner. But it is still kind of kinky, in my opinion. But all in all, it's a good movie to start off the summer movie season, and of course, it's not the only Marvel-inspired movie to be out in theaters. Of course, in a couple months, we'll get to see both Ant-Man, starring Michael Douglas, and the reboot of the Fantastic Four movie series. I did see trailers for both movies. Both look pretty good, and so I'm going to take a look at that. And there's, of course, lots of other movies I saw in trailers that look pretty good, so keep an eye for reviews on that in the near future. And I hope you enjoyed this little review of Avengers 2: The Age of Ultron. Not only will I have this, but also start on some reviews on some tie-ins with the movie, some collectibles and all. And stay tuned here for more reviews and whatnot here on the Multiverse.